dumbest logic ever. I get this logic thrown my way, I don't want to say all the time, but enough where it just kind of dawned on me, Clay, why don't you just make a video on it? That way you can have a link to kind of show these people, and if they want to watch it with an open mind and be honest with themselves, maybe it can help them out. In some regards, the logic being tossed at me is just really silly, and then in other regards, it's more hidden. And like I said, in the spirit of if those people are being honest with themselves, I think it'll hopefully cause a light bulb to go on for them. But it all revolves around a situation where I want to first just go through a normal, or I don't know normal, but one type of an example that should sound pretty silly, and then I want to apply that to something else where it applies more so to what you as a viewer right now may be applying to kind of your logic of your approach to trading. So let's just say that there are a pair of shoes. Maybe we should just call them rain boots. We'll call them Nikes too. So there's the swoosh mark on them. And you're thinking, you know what? I want a pair of shoes. Now think about it. This is the end goal here. And that is where you want to be. Now within that end goal, think about what's out there. You have material. You have how-to floating around out there. You have you way over here. And then in between all this, what do you have just if you want those shoes? Somebody that is going to, actually let me change up the colors here. Somebody that is going to want to sell you the shoes. Okay, Clay, I follow so far. What's your point? Well, what happens if this person right here, you said, wait a second, Mr. So here is the shoe salesman. There's his fancy tie. He's got some fancy pants on. You say, wait a second, Mr. Shoe Salesman. You are a little scammer. You are a total scammer. Why do I need to pay you for these shoes? Why don't I just skip over you, go to YouTube, go to blogs on the internet, go to just hit up the library. Let me get a few books on how to what? Well, how to sew, how to, what materials, how materials work. So just material selection, all that sort of stuff. Why don't I just learn how to do all that? And then after I know how, hey, it's not like I don't have access to materials for shoes, so I'm also going to just go out there and get materials, and because I know how to do it, I'm going to go out there, do the work, and I'm just going to create my own shoe. So what do I need you for? Why don't I just go and knit, sew, stitch myself a pair of shoes that I can have for myself? Now you're thinking, Clay, that's the dumbest thing ever. Why would anybody ever do that? People do it all the time in regards to trading. Now, why do people pay the shoe salesman? Why are people more than willing to pay the shoe salesman? Think about that. Because the shoe salesman is offering a product where they already have the material. They already have the how-to, and they are very efficient at putting things together in streamlined processes, which afford you a price that is very favorable when you consider that with the time that it's going to take to actually figure out how to construct your own shoe. Not only from a time, but think about the cost. You're going to screw up at least a few times. So you're going to have all sorts of money that goes into, oh, whoops, I guess that's not how the sewing machine works. Oh, whoops, that's not how this or the other comes together in order to make a shoe that's going to last me for more than 2 days. Think about it from not only time, but yeah, there are still going to be costs associated with creating your own pair of shoes. Or what? You can just do what 99.9% of us are going to do, is pay the salesman for efficiency. You pay him, that's it. Sure, it is requiring money out of your pocket, but think about all the efficiency that affords you. So this is what happens all the time. Well, not all the time. That's not a fair statement. quite a bit of times, this is what happens in regards to trading. This is Clay. This is me right here. And I'm offering, but not shoes, but learning how to trade. So courses, right? That are teaching, learning how to trade. And a lot of times people, Clay. There is YouTube. There is the library. There is the internet. All the stuff I need out there to learn how to trade is there. Why would I pay you anything? Now, some people say, you are a scammer. You are charging people to learn how to trade. If that is one of your people, if that is your philosophy and that's kind of how you're viewing this, do you honestly walk into the shoe sales? Do you call up Nike and be like, Nike, Adidas, Reebok, Under Armour, you guys are scammers. You're charging me for shoes. Think about that. No, they are charging you because they have the experience, they have the knowledge. They've been through a lot that allow them to put together a product in an efficient manner and then charge you a reasonable price for it. Now that's how an economy works. If you don't feel it's reasonable, then you're not going to buy a certain pair of shoes. But shoes in general, that's why you pay. The same thing for learning how to trade. And I'm just using me as an example, but if there's somebody else that you're thinking, think about this logic. Apply the logic that you're using on why you don't want to pay to learn how to trade to any other transaction that you make. You're going to charge me for milk? Did you not know that I can go buy my own cow and YouTube how to milk a cow? Why would I pay you for milk? I'm just going to go get my... You understand how silly that is. The same exact thing happens all the time in regards to training. So really kind of consider, why are you not wanting to, not necessarily me, but really anybody. If there's somebody else that you feel more comfortable with, then that's fine. That's great that you're kind of on the fence and really considering and understanding how important it is to invest into your education. But if you're out there thinking that anybody charges for education is a scam, now some people are, so I understand why some people toss it in my face because there are quite a few bad apples out there. So I do understand from that perspective. But if somebody gives you all sorts of free content, allows you to understand their style, and it just gives you quite a bit to work with, and you feel kind of, would you go and buy your own cow to milk just so you don't have to pay the grocery store? Of course you wouldn't. Same applies here. So keep that in mind and just understand that efficiency is what you are ultimately paying for, because there is, especially with the power of the internet, there is nothing in this world that theoretically you couldn't do on your own. You go and YouTube it, you go and get the materials on your own, and you can do it. But of course, we pay for services, we pay for products because it saves us a whole bunch of time, headaches, and ultimately money. Because even with shoes, you're going to be paying all sorts of extra money to figure out how to actually put together the shoe. Just like in trading, the cost of tuition, you're going to do all sorts of stupid things, and it's going to cost you a whole lot of money. You may be thinking, which is a fair point, Clay, of course you say to use this logic because you sell courses. True, but in my defense, I went down this path with stock trading, miserable experience. When I got into real estate investing, and I'll put the link below, I spent just shy of $5,000 in regards to learning how to do real estate because I understood, all right, you know what, I'm willing to pay now because I want the efficient route. I don't want to have to just be floundering around. And again, I'll put that video down below so you know that I am putting my money where my mouth is when I say that I do believe in paying for education, because just shy of $5,000 I personally spent when I got into the real estate investing game and learning how to do all that. So just be very careful. Don't use this dumb logic, and especially if you're wanting to do something that can have the big upside that learning how to trade does. So keep this in mind. Be honest with yourself. Are you using this logic? Are you saying, you know what, screw you, milkman, I'm going to go get my own cow? Because you understand how silly that really is. If you are out there trading alone currently and maybe are in the market looking for a community to join to assist you in your trading or to just help you, give you another set of eyeballs, then I do have a private trading community where you can trade alongside me and other experienced traders. So what you see popping up on the screen right now is both an information link. So if you click on the inner circle one, that is going to take you to the page where I explain all the details of what exactly come with the community, both the chat room and the newsletter. And then the other image that has popped up is a behind the scenes tour where you can see exactly what is going to, be contained within the community. I take you through, like I said, a behind the scenes tour of everything, and that way you'll know precisely what you are getting, when you join. So definitely check that stuff out if you are interested and thinking about, wanting to join a community, and let me know if you have any questions.